Good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Change Radio News. Today is Tuesday, the 13th of May, 2025. The news is read by Josephine Muchabayiwa. Here are the news headlines. President Chamisa bemoans Zimbabwe's health status. Members of Parliament owed over $600,000. Signs of deeper governance crisis. ZANU-PF in primary elections rigging storm. And now for the news in detail. President Nelson Chamisa has raised alarm over the country's deteriorating healthcare system, calling for urgent reforms and strong leadership. In a statement released Monday, Chamisa said hospitals should be sanctuaries of healing, not symbols of neglect. He urged authorities to modernize health facilities with advanced technology, saying this could make Zimbabwe a leading destination for medical tourism in Africa. Chamisa stressed that world-class healthcare is achievable, but it starts with visionary leadership. He said, a country takes the shape of its leadership. Zimbabwean members of parliament are owed over $600,000 in unpaid sitting allowances, with some going 8 months without payment. Legislators say the delay is hurting their personal finances and ability to serve effectively. Each member of parliament is entitled to $75 per sitting, but government funding delays linked to broader economic turmoil have stalled payments. Critics say this is yet another sign of ZANU-PF's chronic mismanagement and failure to run a functioning state where even elected officials go unpaid. Supporters of ZANU-PF Central Committee member Delani Moyo, who contested the Insisa North primary elections, alleged that the elections were rigged. The primaries were held on May 3 following the death of legislator Farai Taruvinga. ZANU-PF has notorious history of manipulating both internal and national elections, as seen in the 2023 harmonized elections, where observers reported that the party stole the election from President Nelson Chamisa in favor of unpopular Emerson Mnangagwa. This electoral fraud has resulted in significant political, social, and economic challenges in Zimbabwe. On May 5, 2025, Moyo appealed to ZANU-PF National Commissar Munyaradzi Machacha for a rerun, citing violations of democratic processes, but ultimately succumbed to internal pressure and accepted the results. In economic news, clothing retailer Edgar Stores Limited has revealed that 60% of the market is now in the low-end segment, where clothing is cheaper as the business steps up its express stores launches. The push into the low-end segment of the market comes as the second-hand clothing market has destroyed formal retailers as they cannot compete with the cheaper offerings. In January, Edgar's revealed plans to launch 20 new express stores this year with a capital investment of approximately $200,000, targeting the lower-income demographic. In local news, Opposition Honourable Patrick Cheza achieved a significant legal victory against ZANU-PF Minister of Tourism, Barbara Rodzi, in the Masvingo High Court on May 12, 2025. The court upheld Cheza's acquittal and dismissed Rodzi's attempts to overturn the ruling based on false allegations. This case highlighted the misuse of legal processes for political persecution, with Cheza demonstrating resilience in advocating for his constituents in Chirumanzu. Judge Sharewa reaffirmed the innocence of Cheza and his co-defendants amidst political pressures. These actions have raised concerns about the state of democracy and the rule of law in Zimbabwe. Speaking to Ejira Munya yesterday after the court hearing, Cheza said, "We are happy we won this case for the second time in court. We thank President Chamisa, opposition members, and our lawyers for the support. We are innocent." The Cure Children's Hospital Zimbabwe will be conducting free screening and consultations in Chiredzi district for conditions like cleft lip and palate, burn contractures and clubfoot, knock knees and bow legs, osteogenesis and imperfecta, brittle bones, wind-spent knees and neglected trauma. The health exercises will be at the following venues. Monday the 19th of May, Malapati Clinic. Chikombedzi Hospital, 20th of May. Rupangwana Clinic, 21st of May. Chiredzi Hospital, 22nd of May. Cure Children's Hospital is a Christian non-profit organization in a public-private partnership with the Ministry of Health and Child Welfare. It offers pediatric surgical interventions for children between 0 to 18 years with treatable disabilities. A teenage boy, Chinoda Arnold Matangwira, from Bisani village in Chilonga, went missing 3 weeks back. He went on foot from Bisani village to collect his dementia medication in Chiredzi. He slept halfway at Chilonga, and that was the last time he was seen. A search team was sent out along the dreaded Chilonga River, and his bag and clothes were found hanging from a tree in the river 2 weeks later. It is not yet known if he is alive or not, and there is no news yet of his whereabouts. Let's hear from his brother speaking of their family ordeal.
Pane munino wanga asiri kuonekwa kumbako anonzi Tinoda Arnold Mutangiro. Une dambudziko renjere, unopota achirwara nenjere. Wakabva kumba uko chingele kwedu uko musi wa 26 March achiti ari kuenda Chiredzi kotora mapirisi. Akabva ari masikati akanovatira kwaChilonga. Wakazongomuka usiku achibva angobuda mumba akangoendesa vanhu vakasara vomuka vanozoziva kuona kuti munhu waenda nepi. Saka bva ipapo vanhu vaingobvunzana chingoti hatina muona. Saka musi wa 26 April ndo pakazoita vamwe vairedza mugwizi kwaChilonga uko, ndo pavakaonawo chibhegi secho iri mumvura yakahakira pamuti umwe akawira mugwizi. Saka ndo patikazoona kuti munhu zveshe unogona kuva akazotokundikandirana mumurodhi. Saka bvapo ndo patikazotanga kumhanya papapa, azotanga kuti tsvake. Saka hatisati taziva kuti ungava akafamba sei, kuti zvakazongomukwidza akangofamba nedondo achiinda, kana kuti paakamuka usiku ipapo akangorosvika pagwizi akazudza kuti ndogona kuyambuka akatogwa nemvura. Hatisati tagona kuziva. Saka kungokumbirawo kuti vanhu sehamawo, vanhu vanobva kunzvimbo dzakasiyana siyana vanoenda kuona achambuta achipinda kana mumapurazi kakuru kuti wakangofamba nedondo. Dzimwe dzenguva vamwe vanhu vanenge achingomboona achingofamba, kana kuti kuri kuti wakatogwawo nemvura. Vanogarawo mujinga megwizi imomo pamwe kuda vanenge vakatomboonawo kuti pane munhu akakugwa nemvura akafa mugwizi imomo hameno. saka chingokumbira kuti anenge angovonawo chaavonawo vanhu vatibatsirewo.
Last night around 11 p.m., Change Radio Wajira Munya witnessed an accident that occurred near Zimbabwe Main shopping center in Mashava, involving an old tractor used for carrying sand and stones and a private car. The private car sustained severe damage and its occupants were injured in the collision. Just last week on Wednesday, another fatal accident took place on Mashava Road involving a silver BMW driven by Emerson Mangara and a white Shackman truck driven by Brighton Makanjari. The crash happened when Mangara encroached into the truck's lane, resulting in a head-on collision that trapped the BMW underneath. The deceased were buried on Saturday last week. Zimbabwe Republic Police Masvingo Provincial spokesperson Inspector Kudakwashe Dewa emphasized the need for drivers to exercise caution as Mashava Road has become increasingly dangerous. In local entertainment news, Miss World Zimbabwe 2025 Courtney Jongwe, 23, graced the opening ceremony of the 72nd Miss World Festival at Gachibowli Indoor Stadium in Hyderabad, India. Jongwe was donning a stunning traditional costume, proudly showcasing the rich heritage of the country. Contestants from nearly 110 nations graced the stage in their stunning traditional costumes. Courtney's participation has sparked a wave of national pride, with many Zimbabweans praising her for representing the country well with her traditional costume, beauty and brains. Each vibrant outfit told a unique story, reflecting cultural pride and timeless traditions. Courtney proudly showcased Zimbabwe's rich cultural heritage, earning admiration from around the globe. Paradzai Messi, the once popular and loved musician, failed to capitalize on a chance to revive his career once again. He was guest musician at the launch of Somandla Ndebele's new album. He reportedly failed to perform because he was overly drunk. Apparently he was given the stage to speak and fans were expecting a meaningful speech only for him to say, "Tirima celebrity chaiwo kwete jana konzo." According to reports and a video circulating, Paradzai Messi was very drunk and failed to perform his songs. In international news, the United Kingdom government plans to end the international recruitment of care workers. This was announced on BBC by the UK Home Secretary Yvette Cooper. Care workers from overseas have made a huge contribution to social care in the United Kingdom, but too many have been subjected to shameful levels of abuse and exploitation. Speaking to the BBC, Yvette Cooper said it's time to end the recruitment of care workers from abroad, as rules will change this year. Cooper also said firms are encouraged to hire British nationals or extend visas to overseas workers already in the country. The United Kingdom government plans to unveil changes to visa and recruitment laws on Monday to cut net migration and says measures will cut up to 50,000 lower skilled and care workers coming to the United Kingdom over the next year. A group of Afrikaners who left South Africa for the United States on Sunday arrived in the United States yesterday. The Afrikaners moved to the United States after being granted refugee status by the Trump administration. They were welcomed by the United States Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau at Dulles Airport in Virginia on Monday. A flight carrying the group of 49 landed in the United States after it flew from OR Tambo International Airport on Sunday. The group boarded a chartered flight owned by Omni Airways from Texas. The batch, consisting of women, children and men, heeded President Donald Trump's call to relocate to the United States as refugees while accusing the SA government of discriminating against them. This stems from falsehoods about land and white genocide in the country. The United States' decision to grant refugee status to a group of Afrikaners has drawn a response from President Cyril Ramaphosa, who raised South Africa's concerns directly with United States President Donald Trump during a phone call earlier. And finally, in sports news, Zimbabwean professional golfer Morton Kombai has died. Kombai, along with 4 other golfers, were involved in a car accident on Sunday evening following the conclusion of the 2025 FBC Zim Open. The 5 professional golfers who had just participated in the tournament, including 2 international players, were involved in a fatal accident at the intersection of Samora Machel Avenue and 7th Street in Harare. The other golfers, Tonderai Masunga and Bigi Chiburi, both Zimbabweans, Victor Chapeta Tsonga of Malawi and Ghanaian Lucky Ayiswere, injured, are currently receiving medical care at the local medical facility. Brazil has confirmed Carlo Ancelotti will become the new head coach of the Seleção. Contract sealed, Ancelotti will leave Real Madrid and lead the Seleção to the 2026 World Cup. Ancelotti will start working for Brazil from the end of May. Real Madrid are planning for official announcement of Carlo Ancelotti's exit, including plans for his farewell at the Bernabeu, as he will join Brazil, and then Real Madrid will also confirm Xabi Alonso as new head coach next. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, has decided to launch another football tournament next season to make it 3. Just like in Europe Champions League, Confederation Cup, the Champions League will also have a Champions Cup. Winners of the tournament will take home 25 million rands. Runners-up will take 18.5 million rands. Semi-finalists, 13 million rands. Quarter-finalists, 10 million rands. First in group, 7 million rands. Second in group, 5 million rands. Third in group, 3 million rands. Fourth in group, 1 million rands. And preliminary round, 500,000 rands. To end the news bulletin, here are the headlines once again. President Chamisa bemoans Zimbabwe's health status. Members of Parliament owed over $600,000, signs of deeper governance crisis. ZANU-PF in primary elections rigging storm. And that concludes our bulletin for today. We thank you for listening. From myself, Josephine Muchabayiwa, and the entire team at Change Radio, we wish you a good night.